back to the Keepmoat Stadium here in South Yorkshire. It's a lovely evening for playing rugby league. A beautiful pitch as well here at the Keepmoat. It's another round of Championship 1 action for you live here on Premier Sports. Doncaster against Workington Town. The big prize for Workington this evening is that with a win, they'd guarantee themselves playing in the division above in the Championship for next season. And we're at the business end of the season. Barrow promoted last week, and Workington could do the same this evening. Doncaster are looking at probably 2 more wins from their final 5 games to ensure that they play in the division above in 2013. So plenty on offer this evening, and 2 sides in a good run of form as well. All lined up to be a cracking encounter, Brian.
Yeah, Paul Cook getting ready to kick off the game for the Doncaster team, and I'm just looking at the size of the 2 number 8s, and I'm not sure endurance is their goal. I think size and strength and power is going to be their goal tonight, and let's watch these 2 teams kick off and get into each other.
And our referee this evening is Matt Thomason. We've got Ian Smith as well in our truck outside. He'll review any decisions with the assistance of video technology if required this evening. Paul Cook then raises the arm for Doncaster and gets the game underway. Workington in possession now for the opportunity to secure their place in the next division. Ryan McDonald as the first drive of the game. The flamehead forward over that 10-metre line. Big man as well.
He is a big man. He goes straight to the middle of the field, which in theory splits the Doncaster defence, so it's difficult for them to rush up as fast as they would like to, because they've two sides to look at, but it's not a bad start from Workington.
Taken by Mattinson at hooker. Doncaster tight in defence so far. No room there for McDonald. 5 tackles used up. Here comes a final play then in this first set from the visitors. Kicks not too tidy. It's kept hold of.
Great kick pressure. Came out of the blocked Doncaster defence and got themselves great field position with that.
It's definitely not what Workington want. That's Chris Spur taken down to the turf. Here's Carl Keswick then at dummy half. Driving through Kelly into that line of white shirts of Workington defenders. Keswick again into Fawcett and through Cook as well as they spread out to that left-hand side. Well, Cowling push back.
Our viewers will be confused. Wherever Paul Cook is, I reckon that's where Doncaster are going to attack. So look out for the blue and yellow number 6, and he'll be running the show. He'll be prompting. He's the Orchestra leader. There he is again, looking at a short side. And a deserved penalty after a great carry from Mike Emmett.
A penalty on the final tackle of the set as well, so more pressure to come from Doncaster. Up to the 10-metre line then with 5 tackles remaining in this set. Bang in the centre of the field as well. They go through Paul Cook and then put the ball through. And it's scored the first try of the game in the opening few minutes. Craig Fawcett gets the ball down, and we played 2 minutes and Doncaster lead 4-0.
Great play. Craig Robinson, the try scorer, and gone through off a great short ball from Paul Cook. And we said wherever Paul Cook is, the ball's going to go there. Here he is, goes at the line, splits the defenders with his unders footwork. I mean, he takes a step back towards himself.
Yeah, we spoke about Paul Cook before the game, didn't we, Brian? And his 7 marathons in 7 days feat recently, which is a phenomenal effort. He's back out here now playing professional rugby league. Craig Robinson, he's had spells at Rochdale and Oldham. Real tough, hard-working forward, and that's the ideal start, really, for Doncaster tonight.
He hit a fabulous hole, didn't he? And all on the back of the manufacturing there by Paul Cook. And when you've got such experience and a deftness of hand that Paul Cook has, you'd follow him around the field, and he'll kick the goals, he'll kick the ball. If I was the Workington coach, I'd be looking for an answer to him.
So the early points go the way of the home side. Penalty given away in 2 consecutive sets. Ensured that Doncaster could cross. Paul Cook with the extras. It's his 20th successful conversion of the season. So he gets his name on the scoreboard as well this evening. The Hull-born former Hull KR, Wakefield man, Hull FC as well. As Gareth said, ran 7 marathons in 7 days, just a month ago, to raise money for the local hospice that looked after his mother.
Yeah, tremendous feat there by Paul. And I saw Doncaster play at Rochdale earlier in the year, and they come down that left channel so much with Cook. He'll have 2 or 3 runners each time if they're playing well, and he picks the right one so many times. That'll be where the danger is, as Brian says, for Doncaster.
He looks a tough nugget, does Robinson, doesn't he? That's him with the ball again. Score a try, and you get battered by Carl Olstrom.
Jared Stack as well, in with the tackling for Workington on that 30-metre line.
Good offload.
Ball away and found a gap as well.
Keswick looking to inject his pace in and around the middle.
Cook just steps through as well, notices the marker's not square, floats the ball. Keeping that momentum up, aren't they? Ball runs loose, but Cook takes it in hand, and one from the boot this time. Colton looking for it, takes it, offloads. A little bit scrappy, the ball's gone to ground, and referee Matt Thomason says knock on.
Good D from Mossop. Really kept his eyes on the ball, as did Mark Calderwood. And let Dean Colton catch the ball and then smothered him as the kick comes to the ground. So good defensive play.
Tackle as well from Elliot Miller of Workington.
He's got big raps, hasn't he, Elliot Miller?
Championships top try scorer so far this year, 22 for the season, but 20 of them scored in Championship 1 competition, I should say, not Championship. Workington now with their second play of the game, outside that 20 now, and a penalty. Relieves a bit of pressure on them. It's pulled up Mike Kelly, the referee.
Making his play early, the referee, and he doesn't want any messing around at the ruck. Wants it a little bit cleaner. That'll make for a quicker game for both teams.
We need more urgency, mate. We need speed up that play.
Workington have won their last 6 games. The last defeat was back in May.
The guy with the ball there, Brett Phillips, they've had real big raps on him in Cumbria this year as well. Just come to Workington from the amateur game this season, well, towards the back end of last season, but played first team this year, and he's had some great reports all season.
He's a big lump, isn't he? Yeah.
Graham Mattinson was in possession. A penalty given, so more advantage for Workington now down at the Doncaster end.
McDonald
driving through again.
I think he's retired about 3 times in the recent years, Ryan McDonald, but he still comes back every year for more at this level.
Here's Coward over the forward.
I don't think fitness is at the top of his agenda, but playing certainly is.
As Mattinson fires the ball through the hands, they go through Lupton and Forbert. Out again as Brett Carter joins the attack.
Good defence from Doncaster.
Go, 3.
Spun back again through Forbert. The offload away. One bounce and back into Carter.
It's a jinky, doesn't he, Carter? Jinky, steppy. Oh, he still doesn't like it, the referee.
Put his cards out on the table early on.
The bounce, isn't it?
10 metres away now.
On the line. Let's go.
Workington with a big win against South Wales in their last game. 50 points there. Their opportunity to get some points on the scoreboard this evening.
Go.
Through Calderwood. Calderwood with Miller on this left-hand side. Muller couldn't keep hold of it. See that combination?
I think we'll see that combination again this evening. I think what we might see is Mark Calderwood with a bit of space taking off as well to exploit his speed, but finds a good pass here, does Mark Calderwood, and he only has to drag that in, doesn't he, Elliot Miller, and he gets another score.
With the form that Miller's been in as well, scored 5 tries against South Wales at the weekend. A hat-trick as well in the 45-point comeback between these two sides earlier in the season. Doncaster had taken an 18-0 lead. 45 unanswered points though from Workington. Made them take the 3 points. Take the 3 points home at the end of the day. Doncaster back in possession though. Just making their way downfield. Cook with the kick. Miller's chasing back. He'll watch it through the in-goal area. And a restart. Workington this season have conceded now 210 points. It's the least of all in Championship and Super League as well, all three divisions. The defence has been fairly tight so far this year. But Phillips taking a bit of effort to put him down to ground.
I think Robinson had the answer. Get stuck into him. He's a big lump, isn't he, Phillips?
There goes another one in McDonald.
I think it's twice O'Loughlin has used his forearm as a bit of a carpet warmer on McDonald's chin.
Mattinson back to Forbert.
Okay.
Taken by Waterman. He was at the centre in the last game when Doncaster beat Barrow. Playing full-back today, though. Here they go with Kelly. In fact, it's Dean Colton. Danny Cowling has a go. No space this time either for Doncaster.
Go. Peter, 10 metres. You. 5. Peter, 10.
Paul Cook's on that left-hand side. And come on the right, back to Fawcett.
It's better kick pressure from Workington.
Carter will watch the ball into touch for Workington, and they'll have head in the field. 10 minutes played then, just that one score for Doncaster, and I guess a bit of a shaky start from Workington, but since then both sides in that arm wrestle.
Well, they've worked themselves back into the game, haven't they, Workington? You know, the great play from Cook to put Doncaster ahead, and Hadley assisted by Craig Robinson, and he's looked a nugget, hasn't he, Robinson? He's been belting people left, right and centre. I think O'Loughlin might just have to be a bit more squeaky clean than he is at the moment in at the ruck, or that's what really gave Workington the momentum, those 3 penalties on the bounce. So if they can clean that bit part of their game up, Doncaster, they look good, don't they?
It's a big weekend for the Robinson family. His brother Adam will play for Halifax in the Northern Rail Cup final on Sunday, so big few days for both of the players.
Hold, go.
Mike Whitehead with ball in hand on the floor, trying to get past Danny Cowling, who is offering his hand and saying, I'm trying to get away from the tackle. And Coward loses the ball, though. The referee says it has been knocked on. He'll bring the play back, and it'll be head and feet to Doncaster. The error by Coward.
Let's have a look. There's a bit of there may have been, you know, it's such a hard rule to adjudicate on, isn't it? We have to get the video referees. Did he pull it out, Ian Smith? Did he pull it out?
If it's one-on-one, you're allowed to ball steal. If there's more than one person, you can't. That's the rule, isn't it, Brian?
I just couldn't see what happened.
Yeah, exactly. It's difficult to see whether he was going for the ball. Doncaster then inside the final 30 metres. Colton just motoring down this right-hand side. Emmett stands in at dummy half. Through Fawcett. And into Kelly.
Short numbers on the right, Workington. Need to work hard.
It's that side they go, Doncaster. They just couldn't keep hold of the ball.
There's a let-off, was that one?
Here's Calderwood.
Danger.
Couldn't quite get away. Taken down by Emmett. Approaching that halfway line now. And the kick this time from Lupton. Looking to find touch.
Yeah, be happy with that. After 30 minutes, they'll walk to a scrum. They'll talk about where they're at and try and restrict some territory on the Doncaster team. But you have to say, get Doncaster down the right end of the field and they look very dangerous. But O'Loughlin will be disappointed with that because I'm sure he could see the try line.
Discipline's better. Good.
And do you think, Brian, they were lining up the play with Cook on the next play as well to the left?
You should be a coach, Gareth, because I reckon where that number 6 jersey is, that's where the ball's going. And if I'm Gary Charlton, I'm thinking, I tell you what, the ball's going to that number 6.
Here's 4 in Cowling.
What? Move!
What I will say is one thing to talk about him, it's another one to try and stop him.
Go. 1.
Plenty white shirts.
2. Move! Wait!
But Phillips, the man on top for Workington in the tackle.
Shoulder. 3. Clear! Hold.
Involved again.
Hold. Go. Peter, no second effort.
O'Loughlin.
4.
This time he keeps ball in hand. So then inside his own half.
5 left.
Now 5 used up. So the final play
Go.
from the side with that 6-point lead. Force at kicks. There's Carter and Miller back for Workington.
Nice and low.
Bit of a 1-2, or 2-1 as it was. And here goes Carter.
1.
Taken down.
Move.
Superb pounce.
Go.
It looked like a bit of a high shot from Danny Cowling.
Well, Carl Keswick was happy with what he did. Yeah, let's have a look. Oh, well.
Chest, mate, is it tonight?
Can't run without your head.
Keswick that put his body in the way.
To be fair, he hit his shoulder in the middle of his chest, so I thought it slipped up. So technically it's a penalty, I don't have a problem with it.
Chest. It's gone high though, mate. Let's go. 1. Move. Hold.
I think we might be getting ready to see Jamie Thackeray, the guy you talked a lot about, Brian. He's just stood up off the bench now.
Here goes McDonald again.
They're not having much joy up the middle, are they? Working, so they probably need him.
Have another go. Nothing opening there.
That's a good carry from Stack.
Wait. Go.
Good body lean about his efforts, hasn't he?
Through hands this time for Workington. Little step from Phillips.
Move. You need to
Just gets them a bit further downfield. Now Whitehead. Into Forber. Forber's
stand. Go.
held down. Flung out to Miller.
Fifth tackle turnover.
The referee says it was forward, and so on the final play.
Tough call, did it look forward to you?
It was a borderline ball, wasn't it, I think?
Okay. Play the ball. Go.
Doncaster back in possession then.
1. Move. Hold. Go. 1. 2.
A strong run down the middle this time. Good Doncaster making those meters. And a penalty as well.
Second effort, mate.
Both sides seem to want to get that ball playing, and the referee going with them at the moment, saying that there's been a bit of holding down so far, a bit of a slowing of the play of the ball.
There's a movement. Go.
Robinson.
No, in my opinion. Move. Hold. Wait here. Wait here. Go.
Taken from dummy half. Little sneaky few meters down that blind side. Through Cook. Directing the troops again. Coming to this right-hand side.
Go. Mike, you need to work out that ruck
In
area.
possession. It's a little drop off as well. It's Kelly. Looked for any openings.
4. Move.
5 away.
Go.
Emmett. Into
Kick.
Cook. Cook with a little kick along the turf. A bit too strong though. Chasers were there, but just too much on it.
Too much porridge for his pre-match meal there. Far too strong. It came off the foot far too quickly. He'll be disappointed because he would have wanted to build a bit more pressure there.
Wait for the foot on.
Challenge Cup winner was Paul Cook, of course. Playing the Super League Grand Final.
1. Move.
Elliot Miller, Championship 1's top try scorer. Bring the ball away for Workington. Now space again as they try to get down the centre. Not going down easily though.
That's 2 tackles that Paul Cook's had to make, is it? One of those, here comes Jamie Thackeray.
Tries to get the legs going with his first possession with ball in hand. Again, some free meters just eaten up from dummy half.
4. Move.
Little scamper through.
And that's what Mattinson needs, isn't it? Big drives from the props there, and then you'll see him thrive, I think, for Workington.
A kick over from Forber. Chasers are there. Calderwood makes first contact, helped out by 2 others as well. Doncaster inside that 20-metre line. Again, a little scamper at dummy half. It's the 10 metres before anybody reacts. Trying it again. It's Cowling's taken down.
Hold, go. 3, 4.
To Spears.
Wait here, wait, go.
Just off the bench, isn't he, Spears? They needed a few more troops.
5, clear.
Into the Workington half now. Kick into the sky this time from Cook. Looks a little bit too strong. Doesn't get the bounce either and goes straight through. 20-metre restart.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed with his last couple of kicking efforts, Paul Cook. One too big on the ground, and certainly one too big there in the air that just ricocheted out of play.
Move! Hold, go. 1.
It's a big win for Doncaster last time out, beating Barrow 28 points to 24 here in Doncaster. It's Brett Phillips on his left-hand side, taken in now by Mossop.
Thackeray's already shown his worth there with a flash play down from open to blind and ripped into the Doncaster line, and now they're looking for a shift play at Workington.
Through the halves to that far side. Alstrom has it. 3 blue and yellow shirts hanging off him.
Go! Okay, give him 10!
Forber with the kick again.
Okay.
It was a nothing kick, wasn't it? He found a little bit of pressure.
Keep coming, 9!
Shanked it off his boot, you know, it was like a golf shank shot. It just wasn't there, was it?
2, move!
Dean Colton, 29-year-old, motoring through for Doncaster. Making good meters in this set at Doncaster now. On halfway.
Wait, go.
And the bash. They try to fight through with Spears.
Go. 5.
Into Cook.
Still 5.
It's put a bit of pressure, but it's straight down Brett Carter's neck. And here comes Elliot Miller. Straight round the ankles, though. Mr. Russ Spears, the 21-year-old, dual registration play with Wakefield. Now Carter takes it away again.
They're trying to link up and do a heck of a lot of work for this Workington team, aren't they? Carter and Miller, and maybe a little bit more combination play against defenders rather than just shipping the ball onto another person would help them out in that backfield.
Go, 8, stay out!
More meters from dummy half from Mattinson. 5 tries to his name so far, but he loses the ball. Picked up by the home side, and referee lets play on.
2, move, go. Chaos box there.
Upping the tempo now, Doncaster. Trying to make the most of it. Driving through again, Spears doing more work having come off the bench. Keswick just looking for his options and get the ball away. It's back with Spears. Has another go. Working hard. 20 metres away now. Through Fawcett. Ball around the back again. Tries to fend off. The offload was there, but Colton couldn't keep hold. Regain the ball. The referee says we're back to 0. There was a hand in there from Workington.
Alex Rose on now for Doncaster. He's another big impact player, and it'll be interesting to see how he goes.
Spreading the play now. Looking to get the ball away as well there, but helping out was Mark Shackley. Spears again.
Outside. 3, go.
Bit of space with the dummy there and putting the ball down, and Paul Cook, the man who can be a game changer, scores a second try for Doncaster. Just a bit of increased tempo. That's the second try on the scoreboard for them, and a bit of individual effort from him in the end to touchdown.
Well, he had all his supporting cast outside him again, but decides to take the line on, and unfortunately the defenders couldn't get to him. I think it was Mark Shackley that was pushed off in the end by, there he is, Mark Shackley. Poor effort in the end, and unfortunately gives Ahlstrom too much to do in the defensive stake with a big right fend, and he keeps his legs pumping and gets over the line. And that's the danger of Paul Cook, with him being so big and so tall. If he decides to take the line on and gets a one-on-one opportunity as he did there, he's going to capitalise.
I think he gave a bit of a verbal there to Carl Ahlstrom as he went over. Ahlstrom gave him a real heavy knock at the beginning of that set on halfway, which Cook, it looked like he struggled to get up from, but 4 tackles later he's taking him over the line with him, and Doncaster 2 scores in front now.
Ahlstrom might be regretting the fact that he got his man up.
The latest battle between the two, though, went Paul Cook's way, 10 metres out as well. Almost when he got the initial ball, powered his way through. Converts his own try as well. 2 tries, 2 converted, 12 points to nil, Doncaster lead. And we see Cook winning the ball as the dives on the ball. That's where they picked up the ball at the start of the play. And here we see finishing the play. Gives the little dummy, has men round him, drives those legs and puts it down.
Yeah, and gives Ahlstrom a gobful as well as he puts it over.
And they're back in possession as well with that 2-score lead.
They have looked the more threatening team, haven't they, Doncaster? They look the more fluent, like they've got a few more ideas in attack at the moment.
Second effort's 4.
I think, Brian, you said before the game about Lupton and Cook. I think if we contrast how many times the 2 players have touched the ball, there's been a big difference, hasn't there, so far?
Yeah, he's been ineffective so far as Peter Lupton, and you have to say that every time Paul Cook, other than his 2 kicks that have lacked a little bit of quality, he has made something happen for the Doncaster team.
Keswick just drops it round the back as Doncaster apply a bit more attacking pressure. Craig Robinson, who was in the last play. 3 white shirts holding down Mike Emmett. This time the kick from Doncaster from Keswick. Just trickles through, picked up by Carter.
They're winning the field position battle as well, aren't they, Doncaster? You have to say that we've seen more of the white team in their own half of in their own 20 metres, so they'll be looking to try and get some field position, but you have to front load your energy in a little bit of defence. You have to work hard to restrict Doncaster to win that battle.
Brett Phillips taken down.
I've been impressed with
Workington.
He's a good player, isn't he?
Signed in September last year after some great performances for amateur season. See the Doncaster coach, Tony Miller. His side 2 scores to the gut at the moment. Mattinson with a kick. Nice favourable bounce, and Doncaster again now back in possession. The chase was there.
What Workington
as well.
What Workington might need to think about, Ian, is quite simply there were 5 and 6 players in on the tackle on Thackeray then. Well, if they're shaped up and they're spread out, Workington, there's a shift play on. What I mean, there's a pass play on. If they're brave enough to play that play, they'll be into open running spaces.
Colton doing a bit of work in from the wing for Doncaster. And to the guy who touched down the first try of the game, Robinson. Keeps going as well.
He's impressed me. He's been strong tonight, hasn't he, Robinson?
Former Wakefield, Rochdale and Oldham man. More effort from Stuart Sanderson. A little bit in front of Paul Cook, but he keeps hold. Pressure underneath Elliott. Miller on this left-hand side of attack for Workington. Now Mossop brings the ball away. He's a Whitehaven lad, is Mossop. A teacher as well, former Sheffield man.
Any relation to Lee Mossop at Wigan?
He is, yes. He's the older brother, I think.
Every time they're Workington having to bring the ball away from within their own 20, aren't they, Brian? You know, the kicking game has been good from Doncaster, and territorially the home side have really dominated the last 10 or 15 minutes at least.
There he goes again, Mattinson. Looks about getting the offload away, but the ball's pinged out.
That should have been play on, I think.
who had the hand in there, who knocked it away. The referee says he's given head and feet to Doncaster. And here we see
this one. No, that's the wrong call. That's off a Doncaster player.
Spears it was with the hand in, just literally knocking a ball away.
And you can tell from the reaction of the players, can't you? Straight away Workington was straight up there. They knew what had happened, and that would have been a great chance for Calderwood with open field there as well.
I'd have backed him in.
Go, one.
As it is, it's the home side back with ball in hand.
Two.
Currently underneath 3 white shirts.
Onside. Go, 2.
Cole Hughes with the previous play. Here we go again.
3,
And Alex Rowe.
hold, go. 4.
Again, we talked about it being one down the middle. There's plenty scampers from dummy half, this time from Nathan Powley. 21 next month.
Whoa.
Here's Cook.
5 left.
Doesn't go down easy, does he?
Hold,
He's a big boy.
go. Okay.
Little chip over the top into the corner, pressure
Well
on.
played.
But lovely little take. Bit of afters involving Calderwood there. Stuart Sanderson disagreeing. Not sure whether it's over the colour of their tops either.
I just wonder whether Sanderson might know some of these lads. I think he's a Wath Brow lad from up in West Cumbria originally.
Right.
Had a spell at Gateshead, now at Doncaster, so he might know some of these players quite well. But he got a shove there, I think, in the back, that's what he thought.
Bit of a leg sticking out there from Sanderson, isn't there, when Carter tries to get away. Just the leg goes up there.
I reckon he thinks he was tripped on the way through.
Might be one for the RFL video team in the midweek then.
Stay
So Workington then having to build from inside their own 10.
To be fair, they've started most of their sets here, haven't they? They've got to break that mould. They've got to be patient. What they need to do is find a great kick, or look at a shift play. Look how much space is out here now. If they're prepared to keep their shape, fill the field both ways.
Go. Keep coming.
Great offload.
Gets it away, just open things up for Workington.
3. Move.
Mattinson just lost his footing though in the end.
Go.
So Miller this time at dummy half. Into Phillips.
He's a willing worker, isn't he, Phillips?
Hold. Go.
Spread out. Pass.
To Calderwood now. Has a run. It's the arm out. The offload is away into Alstrom. He's having a think as well. It's taken down.
Doncaster are defending well. They're getting numbers in the tackle. They're getting to where the problem is, and that's where the ball is. That's where the threat always comes, and that's
3 men back for Doncaster with a little kick from Forber over the top. Good strong initial run as well.
Go. 1.
Certainly keeping the pace of the game up at Doncaster. Half an hour played.
They've been pretty good at dummy half, haven't they? You know, they've sent people in there to try and speed their ruck up and then get their bigger blokes trundling, place 3 and 4 and finishing with the kick, and that's been the key to their success. They're playing the field position game a whole lot better than Workington are.
Won their last 4 games. The last defeat was back in May at Workington. The reverse of this fixture. Looks a little forward as it found the hands of Alex Rowe, but a knock on there inside their own half, and Workington, we're not seeing them with ball in hand in this position for quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, he's taken an error by Doncaster to establish that field position, but Workington won't mind about that. They've broken the shackles now, and it's important that if they can't finish with a score, that they finish with a quality kick that gives them their best opportunity of restricting Doncaster's go forward. This is where if they don't find a play to score, they have to find a play and a good kick, and then front load their defensive energy to make sure they restrict territory.
Move.
Those thoughts of securing a place in next year's Championship division probably put firmly in the back of their minds at the moment. They've got 12-point deficit to make up of Workington. 3 points tonight, though, would put them in the division above for next year.
Go. 2.
Plenty of work to do tonight, though. Elliot Miller drives on down the centre.
Hold. Go.
Here's Thackeray. Good strong stuff from him.
Move. Alex, work out, play the ball. Wait.
Mattinson steps into dummy half. As the runners, goes himself. No room there though, but he offloads away and then he's put down on the floor. Here's Forbert. Into Carter. Carter again with men on his right-hand side. He's got out to Calderwood. Calderwood jinking around. Back to Carter. Carter's pushed backwards down to the floor. Stuart Sanderson, the defender for Doncaster. Here they go again. Forbert offloads the ball. It's Calderwood this time. In at dummy half. Into Forbert with the kick this time. Miller's underneath it. Miller has hold of it. He hasn't. It's gone down to the ground. Fawcett's going to try and run it away. And the referee is just giving the turnover ball.
Is he adjudicating that Miller knocked on there, I think? Yep, he's got that right.
Move! Onside 4. Hold. Go. Pete, off his head. 2. Move!
Brett Phillips tackling this time for
Hold.
Workington. Former Great Britain amateur. Now with Rowe for Doncaster.
Hold. Hold. Go.
There's Powerley.
4. Movement! Onside!
Held down on the turf by Mattinson.
4. 5. Clear!
I'll probably jinx them now, but Doncaster haven't made many mistakes, have they? They've got to the kick nearly every time. It's been a decent kick as well as Powley goes away now.
Nice little spot. The kick through as well has been chased down, but Carter's underneath it. Takes it, spins round, can't get away from the man.
His positional play's been pretty good, hasn't it?
14 offside.
Carter.
There's Calderwood.
Oh, there's a pass on. Yes, he
Got it away as well. It's 10 metres extra before he meets a man.
2. Move!
Put down on the floor.
Go.
Looking to get it away as well as Phillips.
He's impressed me, Phillips. Played really well tonight. As has Robinson, the Doncaster second row. They've probably been the 2 standout players. And now a little bit of field position for Workington on the back of a little bit of loose discipline from the Doncaster team.
We've got 5.5 minutes in this first half, and Calderwood's wanting to take the quick tap and get this game back underway. 30 metres they have to make up now. Here's Thackeray. Can he make some more metres? Not as many as he has done so far this game.
16 offside.
Bainbridge this time.
3.
A lot of work being done. Scampering round.
Go.
This is the best field position of us.
Here's Thackeray again. Getting offload away, but it looks like it's
I thought that was touched by a Doncaster player then. I thought
touched by a Doncaster player. That's 2 calls he's got wrong, the referee, that cost Workington daily.
Back in possession at home side.
Clear.
Fortunate so far this evening. And Stuart Sanderson, Whitehaven lad, former Gateshead and Dewsbury man. Colton has support but keeps hold. It's Craig Robinson that had gone through.
Go.
Tell you what, if he'd have given the ball, he was through as well, wasn't he?
The ball's knocked free, but the referee says penalty to the home side.
Bobby, come on, so he joined in.
A decision their way. A kick to touch for more field position.
is that what they call a coach killer, Brian, right at the end of the set when they've come off their own line as well?
On the back of the call at the other end of the field as well, where Workington were unlucky, it's just double whammy, isn't it? It just makes you end up in a nursing home, decisions like that. You're just rocking in the chair, it just sends you crackers.
I don't care what it is.
Edging ever further, looking for a third score at Doncaster. Into Cook, and through Fawcett. Has a go himself. Another penalty as well. It's all going their way at the moment, and Workington are judged to have held down, and they're going for the extra 2.
I'd have been tempted to go for 6 there, because the 3 or 4 times they've been down there, Gareth, they've scored or they've popped the pressure other than Cook's kicking. But they're looking to go 3 scores ahead. I just think Workington will be a bit relieved there, I feel.
Yeah, because they've had those 3 decisions against them, one after the other, I guess, as well, Brian. They could be disheartened there, and if they've got Cook running at them on that left edge one more time, if you turn around at 18-0 down, that would be a real big barrier to overcome. But still, like you said, 3 scores now if he kicks it.
Talk of turning around from an 18-point deficit. That's exactly what Workington did. I know that they had more time to do it in, didn't they, in the reverse of the fixture. It was 18-0 after 20 minutes to Doncaster. Workington winning by, what, 45 points to 18 back in May.
Wonder if that'll be mentioned at half-time by the coaches.
Could well be the carrot, couldn't it? Paul Cook then with 2 more points for him this evening. 2 conversions, a try and a penalty. 14-0, and here is the knock-on.
That's it.
Is that a hand in from Doncaster?
Absolutely hand in every day of the week from Craig Robinson. He's played a big part in this game, hasn't he? Got away with one there for sure, because that should have been 6 more plays to Workington at that end of the field, and they were looking dangerous for the first time in the whole of this first half. Oh, if you're Gary Charlton, you'd be pulling his hair out.
Stay outside.
2 minutes to play then in this first 40 minutes of Cooperative Championship 1 action here from the Keep Moat Stadium, live on Premier Sports. And Doncaster back in possession as well. Bit of a breach of the defensive line.
Hold. Go.
Oh, just running from dummy half.
Hold.
Powell, is it?
Wait. Go.
Was
Dangerous, aren't they, from dummy half, Doncaster? They've made quite a lot of meters, and little plays like that, a little offload makes it an extra defensive tackle in the set.
rolling tackle there from Mark Bainbridge. Fans thought he was holding down as well. Seen a lot of that given this evening.
Mike Emmett's done quite a lot of work for Doncaster from loose forward, hasn't he? Taken in some of the tough drives for them.
He certainly has.
Cook put on his backside, not with ball in hand, and the touch judge is on from this near side as well. But he spotted that or something else. The referee stops the clock.
Do you know what?
Doncaster that were moving through, and I think both touch judges are on as well.
Jamie. Okay. Where is it? Sorry, Mike.
I've seen something. Looks like they're calling across Mattinson.
I think it's Whitehead they're calling it. Originally they were calling Thackeray, but I think this is Whitehead.
A bit late off the ball, was he? You know what? It's been a touch judge from the far side that came across, so he gets rid of the ball, and oh yeah, it was a penalty. It was late, wasn't he?
And they're going for two more as well. With what, 1 minute and 3 remaining in the first half. They just want to edge themselves a bit further ahead.
The touchy on the near side didn't see it. The one that was nearest to Paul Cook. It was a bloke from the other end of the other side of the field that ran on with his flag. He won't miss this.
Both sides this evening have only lost 2 in Championship 1 so far. Both times Workington have got the bonus point. Neither of Doncaster's defeats have ended with them taking anything from the game, but now with those extra 2, they're 16 points to 0 up, and we've got less than a minute to play before half-time. And that, dare say, promotion party, it wasn't pretty quite that Workington were expecting this evening, but their plans have completely gone back to the drawing board.
Well, if they're thinking of doing what they did back in May with the 18-point start, this is a different Doncaster team, I feel. They look very resilient on their own goal line, and the defence looks good, so they're going to have to play the game where they get into the game, working, expecting either Thackeray or Lupton or somebody to make a break, or Mattinson, and they just need to play the system.
Just play the timeout now, will Doncaster. Craig Robinson in possession as the 40 minutes and a hooter goes here at the Keep Moat Stadium. So it's been a bit of a tough evening so far for Workington. A couple of decisions maybe haven't gone their way. Doncaster have had probably the upper hand of the play, you'd argue. And they've scored the points as well when it's mattered. So half-time here at the Keep Moat Stadium. It's Doncaster that lead Workington by 16 points to 0. The half-time analysis is next. Welcome back to the Keepmoat Stadium here in South Yorkshire. At half-time, Doncaster lead Workington by 16 points to nil. Workington could have secured, or are looking to secure if they can, promotion this evening, but at the moment their plan has not gone to plan, and Doncaster's really has probably worked so far.
They've looked fluent in attack, haven't they, Doncaster? The right end of the field, and obviously Paul Cook is pulling all the strings with it, with 12 of the 16 points going his way, with a couple of goal kicks and a try for himself, and he took, and then put Robinson, he assisted in the final piece of the jigsaw. But I feel a little bit for Workington, because when they were just getting back into the game, there was a couple of calls that didn't quite go their way, and it kind of changed the momentum of the game. And so I still think they've got a say in this game, but I do feel they have to score next week. I think it's a different Doncaster team that went up to Workington up in May and reversed that. You know, when Workington reversed that 18-0 lead that they had that evening into a big score, a 44-18 win. I think it'll be a whole lot tougher, because they look resilient on their own goal line tonight in Doncaster.
We mentioned it during the game in that Doncaster have had a lot of the play, and you mentioned then that when Workington got ball in hand and maybe a couple of decisions didn't go their way, what will they look to do in the second half to try and get their way back into the game?
Well, there's a couple of other things that are happening for me that they need to address. I think they're running really well out of dummy half for Doncaster. All their small people, Emmett's getting in there, and Sanderson, the wingers, getting there, giving them some momentum in and around the ruck, and it's tiring the big Workington forwards. They're on the back foot, and it's led to a little bit of a lack of discipline in what they've been doing, and a lack of shape in their structure and getting back. So they probably need to commit a few more people in and around the ruck, and understand that the little blokes are going to run. We need to be ready for that. We need to beat them off the ground and then take their space down and try and slow them down a little bit and cramp their style. I think that'd be priority number one. I think we've got to put a bit more pressure, clever pressure on Paul Cook. Don't try and knock him off the ball. He's been around for too long. He'll just laugh at you, but he doesn't want to be tackled. He wants to run when he's 15 metres from the line and there's a chance of scoring, as he did. So those are a couple of things that Workington can do. And with the ball, be a bit more patient and get to the right end of the field and use Thackeray and get him going in the middle and then execute a couple of plays. They have had a couple of tough calls with the ball in hand in the right places, but we certainly haven't seen the best. Lupton needs to carry the ball a little more. We haven't seen the best of what they can do.
Is this what you've seen previously, Gareth, from Workington and Doncaster? I mean, do Workington look off their best?
Yeah, I think it's fair to say, well, definitely that they haven't been at the best so far, but they haven't been allowed to be. You know, credit Doncaster. I think we said in the commentary they've hardly made any handling errors. You know, they've been very consistent coming out of their own half. As Brian said, getting out of dummy half, great, getting a bit of momentum. Generally, the kicking game's been good, and Workington have had to come off their own line almost every time. They've had virtually no territory, and when they have, those calls have gone against them.
Let's have a look at the tries then and how they happened in that first half. It went the way of Doncaster really early on in the first 2 minutes, really, and Robinson, the man, the beneficiary.
Well, Cook's the architect-in-chief. Alstrom buys the big dummy and goes out to the wrong man. He needs help on Cook there, does Peter Lupton and Alstrom, and Craig Robinson just goes through the hole that's created by a poor read from the Workington centre, and he gets it down, just gets up and shows how relieved he is. But again, Paul Cook highlighting a couple of defenders, can I move them around with a bit of ball handling skills, and then I have to say that all night Craig Robinson's hit the right holes, and sometimes he hasn't got the ball.
And we mentioned Paul Cook before the game as well in terms of the influence that he has. He had an assist there. He scored 12 of the 16 points so far for Doncaster's night and has 4 of his own for a try.
Absolutely, and when Doncaster signed Paul Cook, Tony Miller was talking about his influence almost beyond the field, and as he's coming off at half-time there, he's pointing to other players' gaps and where they should be in the field, and I'm sure he's improved the players around him, as well as obviously bringing a great attacking threat himself.
I mean, he's a big part of what Doncaster do. You know, we mentioned that, Brian, and he's just individual work for that second try, just driving through.
But he has had a good supporting cast, hasn't he? I mean, he takes the line on here, but look at the runners outside him that attract defenders. Alstrom again, and in the end it gives the defenders too much to do. I think Shackley, that can't get to him, so there's the Robinson try, you know, that he passes on to him, but you saw Cook himself then using his big right-hand fend on Shackley, and he gets over the line himself.
We've seen a lot of running from dummy half and a little bit of scampers as well. I mean, that's where Paul Cook wins the ball, isn't it, at the beginning of that set. and then they keep the ball alive. It's bouncing around a little bit, but they keep hold.
Yeah.
And then as they get back down the other end.
They've been very hungry, haven't they? And here he won't be denied from there. Take Shackley and Olsen, as we just saw there, and I think that was a bit of previous from the tackle earlier when Olsen dropped.
Say something as they go down, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think discussing who makes the best burgers in the town, and gives it to him verbally. Get that into you. And a great handoff, you have to say, doesn't it? I'd love to see a good fend. And, there you see, my burgers are better than your burgers, is what he said there.
It's a good conversation, I'm pretty sure. And in terms of the running from dummy half, can you do anything to combat that? I mean, we've seen a lot of it, and almost like 3 meters just scampering through. As a coach, I mean, can you do something to combat that? Would you want to combat that?
Well, Emmett's short and stock, and Robinson's short and stocky, and Sanderson's coming on the wing who's got a bit of speed, and the hooker, he's short and stocky, so that they're getting out of there and finding their front. So you're going to have to talk about your big men and probably not being as aggressive in and around them, and take a step back, and if they go to run, then squash them rather than try and jump in on them when they're being beaten off the ground, basically, the bigger blokes by the smaller, quicker blokes. And that makes the next carry for the Doncaster forward, who's usually big bloke, a whole lot easier because it's a retreating defence. So you can talk about it, but you have to take action and squeeze it up a little bit more, and maybe commit a few more to the tackle.
And we've seen some tremendous games this season, Gareth, on our coverage on Premier Sports. Anything can happen. We saw earlier in the season Workington coming back from 18 down to win 45-18 against Doncaster. So you can't write them off. And this 40 minutes is almost like a game within itself.
Absolutely, but I do tend to agree with Brian, where I think Workington have got to score first to get back into this game, just to get on the front foot. They've not really been on the front foot all that half, have they? Apart from, I think they had 3 penalties early on, they got down there. There was an error, they got down there. But to get on the front foot and perhaps try their own dummy half running, because Mattison's fantastic if he's got a bit of go forward. I think they need to score first and start playing their own game a bit more.
And can they use the aspects of they think they've had a few decisions that have gone their way and that maybe would have changed things at half-time? So literally looking at it, the scoreboard shouldn't be as it is, and they should be more. I mean, will that give them the motivation?
Well, no, I feel that Doncaster are 16 points better at the moment. I think their kicking game's been better, their kick chase has been better, so they've played that field position type of game as well. Yes, the coach will mention for Working, Gary will mention, we've had a couple of bad calls here, but we can't rely on the calls. We had enough possession and enough opportunity to be a whole lot better than we were. So it's about addressing those issues, but giving them something to hang their hat on in the second half, and he certainly will do that.
Let's get the inside knowledge then, shall we? Natalie Quirkey's down pitch side talking to the men in charge.
Mick, about a couple of points, a very similar position to when you last played at Workington at this stage. How different was the team talk this time?
A lot different there now. We've come on as a group of players and coaching staff, a lot more mentally tough now. We've been playing the game in the right positions on the field. If we can cut some penalties out, we're confident we can carry on.
So a different kind of first half from last time, and you're expecting a different second half as well?
Yeah, a lot different. We got a lead up there, and the quality side, they'll come back at us. But up there, we want mentally tough. We tried forcing matters where we know here we just need to build pressure and play in the right end of the field.
Off the mark very quickly, and you've got that cushion, but as you know, you can't rest on that.
Yeah, we've been scoring freely, so we're happy with that start, and we've got a pretty good defensive record, so we're happy now in the second half that the guys have moved on from when we went up there.
Thanks, Mick.
Hey, thanks.
So that they thought from inside the Doncaster dressing room, that 16-0 lead here at the Keep Moat Stadium. Still perfect conditions. It's been a lovely day here in South Yorkshire today, and the fans, I'm sure they're enjoying themselves this evening, seeing their sides with that 16-0 lead. Here they are, the home side, Doncaster Rovers. Paul Cook with a try to his name, and 2 penalties, 2 conversions as well. The initial try from Robinson got the scoreboard ticking on the 2nd minute. Workington, of course, we keep mentioning they could secure a promotion spot this evening, but they've got to make up those 16 points first. It's all 3 that they need this evening. There is Paul Cook on the half-backs for Doncaster, and
I think the fans that we saw just on the way out there were Workington fans. I think they'll be less happy than you think they will be after such a long journey.
It's a long way.
I hope none of those have to go and work at Sellafield as well alongside Graham Mattinson tonight.
Yeah. He needs a big turnaround this second half to make his night shift a whole lot better.
Certainly won't be looking forward to that at the moment. It's Carter for Workington, who lines the ball up on the kicking tee. Referee Matt Thomason just awaiting the nod, and the ball's off the kicking tee as well. Don't think Carter's noticed at the moment. He does.
Stay outside. Stay on.
Workington, though, with 6 back-to-back wins at the moment, and we're back off and underway. The second 40 minutes of this Championship 1 fixture live here on Premier Sports.
Hold. Wait.
All possession for the home side. And another run taken from dummy half.
Is it me, or was that a nothing kick-off?
Hold.
He just chipped it up like a 9-iron. Long into the corners, or make it spiral, or make it bounce, or do something that's going to trouble a catcher. They started to set on the 30 minutes is probably what I'm whinging about. The coach is there thinking, let's give them 30 minutes for 3, so Cook kicks from the halfway line.
Cook kicking on halfway on tackle number 4. Picked up by Elliot Miller. Hit quite hard as well by Forbert. Sorry, by Fawcett.
2, move! It is, wait, go.
Carter with the first carry for Workington as they bring the ball away from their own end. The first possession of the second half.
Wait, go.
Little run through the centre.
Hold.
An amazing amount of space opening up for them. Using the first runner to fire their way through.
Go.
Kick through from Forbert.
Give him 10.
Plenty of men behind, including Waterman.
Still think
Getting very close to the club's record tries in a season. The record's 31. He's currently got 28. Ball's been stolen as well there. It didn't look like a one-on-one. The ball's run loose, and the referee,
I think he got a call from his touch judge there, didn't he?
Yeah.
gives a penalty to Doncaster. A few words there as well.
Yeah.
Not a bit of nothing.
They're talking about the fries.
We sorted the burger.
On the line.
It's not the start that Workington probably wanted either. You know, we were talking about discipline, weren't we, at half-time, and the field position battle. Well, that's certainly round 1 of this second half to Doncaster.
Saying as well that they've got to be the first to score in the second half. They're soaking up more pressure now.
2, move. Hold. Wait.
Strong in the tackle, physical as well. Now here's Castle.
Move. Onside. Wait.
Using this space on the left. Cook's directing the troops.
Go.
There he is. Through Fawcett.
5 last. Go.
There's Emmett, and they're stretching through for the line. And they've got it down. Lee Waterman with his 29th try of the season. Getting the first score in the second half, stretching that Doncaster lead, and maybe now we're looking at Workington being that little bit too far behind to ease back in this game.
Well, it's a great score from the Doncaster team at the start of this second half, and a stretching effort is absolutely right. Waterman gets in between 2 defenders, gets the ball right out in front of him and plonks it over the line for a great 4 points and a great start for the Doncaster team this second half. A little bit of a right step that pushes him through. Stacker on the line that he goes through in the end, and that's a good score from the fullback Lee Waterman.
It's the 4th top try scorer in all the top divisions. It's Lee Waterman. Moved to fullback for this game. Cover for Mick Butterfield. And Paul Cook with an opportunity to put more points next to his name on tonight's score sheet. 2 more for him. 22 points to know the lead.
just wonder here whether they were distracted the Workington defence, because Cook went to the right there. Everyone had their hands up on the right-hand side and shot out there. Emmett decided to go left, and it was the last tackle, and Waterman's took them on, and terrific score from a guy who's always been prolific at this level.
Well, there's nothing to lose by running the ball, except turning it over, even if he was short, but put his arms out, didn't he?
The shorter kick-off this time from Workington, but picked up though by Doncaster and tackled in the air as well. Calderwood was the man underneath it, trying to reclaim the ball from the kick-off at his side, but as we see, in the air, Paul Cook, the man, taken down.
Yeah. It's a tough call. Did his own player? Did he go over his own player? Calderwood plays a part, don't get me wrong, and you're not allowed to tackle him, but I don't think they actually tackle him.
There he is. He's having a bit of a stretch.
Yeah. Those 50-50 ones, and it's not intentional, it's not certainly dangerous, and you can see the reason for a penalty, but...
Be quiet. Get on with the game. Get on with the game.
Just hanging on to his shoulder, but looks all right, as Paul Cook. His side,
move!
That 22-point lead.
Wait.
Back in possession and inside the Workington half as well.
They're doing the little things really well, aren't they? The big blokes are showing up and finding their fronts and playing the ball quickly. And in Robinson here, they know their job, don't they?
2 drives out of 3 from Robinson again there at the beginning of the set.
Yeah, he's a workhorse for sure.
Howley into Cook initially. It's flung back to Hughes. He's held inside that 30-metre mark.
Peter, need to be faster. 5 less.
More way down that shorter side.
Go.
Through Cook, not too many men behind him. Goes for the kick. Being chased down as well. Calderwood's underneath it, under pressure from Sanderson. And he was taken in the air, says the referee as well.
He gave the first one, he had to give that one, didn't he? The alternative there is Sanderson doesn't do this. Calderwood's down the other end of the field, so he's in the air and he's tried to tackle him. He's probably a bit more clear-cut than the other one was.
Over 230 Super League appearances with Leeds, Wigan, Hull and Harlequins Rugby League was Mark Calderwood. Over 130 tries as well over 11 years. And only 30 at that.
Go.
He was talking before the game, Calderwood. He's played in some big derbies. He's played in the Wigan Saints, Leeds, Bradford, Hull, KR. The other week he had Workington, Whitehaven. He said it was a completely different experience, but one he enjoyed thoroughly as well.
Workington now trying to get themselves going. Forward just offering it back to Shackley. Fell over playing the ball.
He's pushed in. Go.
The kick as well from Lupton. Straight underneath it is Waterman. Hungry for more points as well, having just scored his side's latest try.
Him and Phillips having a few words still in back play there, aren't they?
Yeah.
Onside. Go. 2.
To get the offload away, the ball went to ground. The referee says it was knocked on. It did go forward. Rather physical out there as well at the moment. Head and feet now. Back with Workington.
Is that bit of aggression,
Get back to the game.
that little bit of
Pushed in.
temper there that's needed to swing the game Workington's way?
Heads in. Come on. Stay. Out.
Quickly on top of them. Looking to bring it away was Jared Stack, but absolutely no room whatsoever.
Get off him. Get off him.
I think Stack thought he should have had a penalty from the scrum there. I don't think he could quite believe the Doncaster man was there as soon as he picked the ball up. Yep. And now the decision's gone against him as well. They've given a knock-on against Stack.
Well, that's where he thinks there's a penalty, and he doesn't actually knock the ball on, does he? He puts the ball down. Having a couple of tough calls are working to him. I don't think that's the reason. Well, this will get you beat. You're not going to change the referee's mind, and they're just a bit rattled, aren't they, Workington? They need to take all the aggression out of the boys in blue and yellow, not the man in green.
Under more pressure as well. He's involved in the tackling there, Jared Stack.
Might get a bit feisty this now, I think.
Yeah.
Does have the feel of that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? It's rugby league.
Two sides going at it.
Yeah. Climb into each other with the ball and without the ball.
Through hands with Doncaster. Cowling was on the end of it.
Joe.
Cook at dummy half. To Robinson. Scored the first try of the night. Stopped 8 short. Little scamper from dummy half. Can't quite get through, or can he? Held up over the line.
Tackle 4 on the line. 4 line. 4.
Back into Cook, who changes the direction. Wants to kick through. There's hands in there from Workington, and they picked up possession, or have they? Doncaster are looking for 6 more. It's a knock-on, head and feed, Workington.
Do you know what? I think he should have had 6 again there.
Let's go with it.
There's a great defence on the line there.
Heads in.
Just on his back there, couldn't get the ball down.
Out.
And back through traffic was Carter.
Hold. Go.
They're certainly hungry for this win, aren't they, Doncaster? The line speed's good, they're getting the tackling numbers, and
Here's where we see, should they have had 6 more there? Paul Cook back on the ball. But in play, head and feed back with a home side inside that Workington half. Just as Workington look to build things and get themselves out of their own half.
do you know, it was the right play. It was the right play, but he just didn't pass the ball properly. Yeah, he's looking at it. I can't catch them, and Miller catches that and he's in the clear.
Nice move off the back of the scrum.
That's good read as well.
Go on. 2, move. Hold, go. The ball. 3, clear.
I've got the numbers here because
Go.
I'm going to go the other way.
Little step, nice stuff from Fawcett. Keeping it alive as well, aiming for the corner. It's just a little bit too far behind Colton. Gone into touch as well. They're having a look from the video referee. Ian Smith will just decide what has happened in that far corner.
Well, there's no obstruction, so let's just go towards the touchline. Does it go in touch? Is it touch and goal? So past there, he's still in the field of play. Tackle's not complete. So he's fighting to try and get it down. Just jog that one back, please, and move the strap. That's it. Just jog that back, please. So it's the ball's up there. It's still up. It's up there. Still up. It's on his leg. It's on his leg. His ball carrying arm has touched the touching goal line, so it's no try, 20-metre restart. Matt, it's no try, 20-metre restart.
20 metre.
The thoughts of the video referee, Ian Smith.
Wait there.
Yeah.
Giving possession back to Workington.
I think he's made the right call as well.
Both feet.
So Workington still yet to register any points on the scoreboard today. You can hear from their coach who's talking to Natalie.
2, move.
Another penalty. We'll hear from the down from the touchline in just a second, but as the ball's kicked into touch,
On the line.
Workington on halfway now, an opportunity. They'll look to get themselves back into the game.
1. Move. Play the ball.
Stack.
Go. 1.
Tackled on that 40-metre line.
Movement. Hold. Go. 2.
Spreading the play.
3. Clear.
Solid defence from Doncaster there, though. Couldn't find a way through. Looking now with James Robinson.
Go.
Couple of tackles remaining. Goes Thackeray. Doesn't get too far that time. Little kick over the top.
Okay.
Underneath it is Stuart Sanderson.
First in the field.
He's in field though, says the referee. So they keep hold of possession. Going as well.
Move. Wait.
Great opportunity for this Workington to stay squeaky clean, build some pressure. Don't give a silly penalty away.
Clear. Wait.
Penned into that corner at the moment, trying to get away. Good strong legs. Eventually bundled down to the ground.
Go. 4.
And I think we have now found Gary Charlton. Natalie's down pitch side talking to him.
5.
Gary, you've managed to come back against these before. What's your game plan for the second half?
Well, we've got to be a little bit tighter around the ruck. We've been outdone by Doncaster right around that ruck. We've asked our boys to tighten up a little bit, but we're giving away daft penalties, and our error rates are at a very high at present, so we need to really knuckle down at that.
Bit of a rallying cry then in the changing room.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, we asked the boys to run a bit hard, asked Doncaster to tackle us. We haven't been getting over the advantage line at present. We've asked to play a different way, but it looks like we're still playing the same way, and it's not doing anything for us.
Of course, you've got that carrot of promotion dangling in front of them as well.
Yeah, that's right. You know, we need to muscle up and do a little bit the little things right. We've been making errors, we've been penalties away, and you know, we're getting what we deserve at present.
Thanks, Gary.
No problem.
Just seen them make another error as well. Just inside that Doncaster half. Dropping the ball. I think Gary Charlton saying as well, he's told him at half-time to try and clear it up, and it hasn't happened. Here is that drop.
How much work has Mike Emmett got through tonight? I think he's played the whole game, and just the stuff like that perhaps goes unnoticed sometime, but I think he's been terrific tonight.
He has carried the ball really well and done his tough stuff as well.
Hughes gets the ball away at the last minute. Powley, though, jumps up on. Probably backtracked down the pitch a little bit there.
Go. 4.
Pressure from Calderwood, and Cook gets the kick away. Calderwood's chasing back, but comfortably underneath is Brett Carter.
Move. Hold. Wait.
No time for him to do anything with the ball, though.
1.
A little bit loose, but they keep hold.
Move. Onside. 2. Go. 2.
Well, Workington have spent the whole evening waiting for the ref to blow the whistle for little half misdemeanors and things that are out of their control. Someone needs to just get on with the game. Get on with the game and make your own luck and run hard and crash through a few defenders, and you'll be amazed how it changes.
I mentioned Workington's defensive record earlier on. What about Doncaster's scoring record? 535 points ahead of tonight's game at an average of over 40 per game. Workington, though, trying to get some more of their own this evening, and pressure on that kick. The referee comes back and says, Jared Stack, here he is on the floor. The head and feed to Doncaster for, well, a knock on, I guess. Sorry, a forward. Just couldn't connect with the foot. Painful as well, isn't it? On the shin.
Just check that if it's a 5th tackle, please, mate.
Yes. Gary Charlton.
On the cross there, mate. 5th tackle, 2 markers.
As we approach the end of the third quarter, Paul Cook at the moment just directing his troops.
I guess the other thing that comes into play now, Ian, at this level is the bonus point, especially with that race at the top there. The fact that Workington can still earn one. I'm sure Doncaster will be desperate to make sure that they don't, because that 1 point could come into play for top spot at the end of the year.
And this really sort of fuels the fire in those top 3 sides as well, because with a win, Doncaster would go above Workington into second place. With 2 points behind Barrow, who they beat last time out. It's getting all very close, or closer than it was even when we started tonight.
And then Barrow still have to go to Workington, which becomes another crucial game now.
Go.
I think that game is on the 12th of August. Barrow and Workington. If that game needed any more heat, I guess a little bit more. Little tap on the heels. Referee gives a penalty. There's Thackeray.
Captains.
Sticking a foot out.
I think he might be putting this on report. He's called both captains out at the moment.
There he is, Matt Thomason. Stopping the clock as well.
Stick his leg out, tripped him. Just put it on report, mate.
Absolutely, Gareth. On report for sticking the leg out. See it there.
Got him on the half volley, didn't he?
Nathan Powley took a dive.
One, move!
Didn't say that.
I don't mean not a footballing dive, but
no.
Powley's been good as well, hasn't he? He's worked hard, and I think he's a kind of player newspaper men would describe as diminutive, but he's made his presence felt. He's been everywhere, all over the field.
They've got a few sawn-offs, haven't they? Doncaster have been impressive tonight.
They're the guys that have caused them trouble, aren't they, Brian, as you've said, around the rim.
Go, please.
Hughes was stopped 5 metres out. Here's Cook now. Has support round the back with O'Loughlin.
Movement! Hold.
Closed down as they look to go from dummy half.
Go.
And again.
Paul Cook's not happy with that last tackle. He's throwing his arms around him back playing.
There goes the toys out the pram.
Onside!
He was furious with that.
Into the final quarter now of this game, and an opportunity for Doncaster to keep Workington penned inside this final 10-metre line.
2. Move! Hold. Go.
Paul Cook's waving them over to the right-hand side. That's the way that Workington go.
Ball settled.
Another penalty as well, this time for Workington for a high tackle. Dean O'Loughlin there. Former heavyweight boxer. Spent 5 years in the ring.
1. Move!
Mossop put on his back.
Go. 2. Move! Outside here. Hold. Go.
Looking for options now is Mattinson.
3.
More work as well from
Outside!
Forber.
Go.
Strong stuff, the balls run away. They keep hold. Danny Cowling though, pouncing on.
Wait. Go. 4.
Another offload. Mattinson doesn't know what to do with it, eventually puts the kick through. They see it safe. Pressure was there from Brett Phillips of Workington. They're just putting the ball behind though is Lee Waterman, meaning they'll face another set, but that one was safe.
Okay, time off.
I think that's the first time that Workington have forced repeat sets now, and it's just 18 minutes left in the game. There's not long now, is there? They'll still be looking to get something out of it. That bonus point, as we said, could still be crucial, so they've got plenty to play for in the rest of this game.
Absolutely right, Gareth.
Otherwise, you just skate on with it.
And as you say, it's the first time they've played the element of percentage. You know, they found a kick with a repeat set, and plenty of rest here though, Doncaster, haven't they?
Bit of experience from Paul Cook, that, Brian. I think slowing it down.
He's
Can you run?
In no rush, are they?
Time on.
Good drop out as well. Carter taking it just inside his own half.
1. Move!
Tries to slice through.
2.
And the ring in a
Hold.
nice tackle
Go. 2.
from Powley. man spare on this right-hand side, Workington. Kept hold did Jared Stack. Centimetres in from the touchline. Can they get the ball away? It looked like a sure try, but it just didn't stick. Doncaster coming away with it right in front of the sticks as well. Just needed a ball to hand. It was a sure try.
Well, it was Thackeray that punched his way through the hole, and Carl Forber just couldn't grab it in. He couldn't get it out. It was a little bit behind him because he was running at full speed, and Workington wastes a fabulous opportunity. Here we see Forber's the pass. Thackeray's in the open. Oh, it's a tough one for Carl Forber to try and drag in there, isn't it?
Thackeray just trying to get it away on the spin.
Wait, go. 4, movement.
More work then from Doncaster.
4,
Edging their way downfield.
5 last. Move.
5 used up though. The final play into Cook.
Give him 10-14.
Just looking down in front of us, and the two guys we've talked a lot about, Emmett and Robinson, have finally taken a well-deserved break, but that's 64 minutes of great industry from both of those players.
Nice little break down that left-hand side. Carter looking to get on the motors.
Jump in.
Penalty as well from the inventive stuff down that left-hand side, and an opportunity to make a little bit of meters and a fresh set of 6.
Move. Wait. Go.
Inside that Workington half then after tackle number 1.
2. Movement.
Almost through there. Chris Coward. Shrugging the tackles off was Thackeray. The ball as well then away from him.
3.
So tackle 3 finishes just outside the 20.
Wait. Go.
Went forward there, enter Coward. Coward was always there on the right-hand side. Just got a little bit too far ahead though.
Well, it's the first time we've seen Lupton inject himself into the line and try and find a pass play through the line, and fortunately he's adjudicated. I think it's right. It's a forward pass to Coward.
Go it. This side, Paul. This side.
Yeah, the referee gets that right.
Heads in.
That'd have been an interesting mix up at the end, wouldn't it? The full-back against the big front rower. I wonder if he'd tried to sidestep him.
We'll never know.
Move. Hold.
15 minutes to play then. Doncaster at the moment going to put themselves above Workington into second spot of Championship 1. Big prize on offer for sides finishing in the top 4. Promotion through to the Championship. The playoffs, well, the top 6 will enter playoffs, although really it'll just be for show, just be for the trophy cabinet really.
Hold. Go. Play on.
Now with Waterman. Look to get himself going and then taken down. It's a bit scrappy, but who's there? Paul Cook. And into a Lachlan. 5 used up though, so here comes the kick. 3 back for Workington. And here is Carter. We saw a nice inventive run down the left-hand side before. What this time? Tries the right. Doncaster have the measure.
Hold. Wait. Go.
To Calderwood. Was thinking about what to do with it, and then all of a sudden had his thought process cut short, and a knock on as well as Workington try to bring it outside their own 20. Just maybe taking eye off the ball was Carl Alstrom. Signed a 2-year contract extension last week. Just picking it up from dummy half. Just got a little bit too far ahead of him. One of the men that the coach is looking to build around, a nucleus of local talent. Played in the grand final as well last year.
I just think Workington will go back up to Cumbria frustrated tonight. They don't seem to have got going and played their game. I think they'll be disappointed that they've not shown what they can do on television, and I think it's fair to say they're probably a better side than they've shown tonight, although Doncaster again must take great credit for the way that they've played.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think Workington will regroup and talk about where they went right and wrong with a few games to go. It just might be the kick up the backside that they probably need to finish the season as strongly as they'd want to do. And Doncaster, yeah, I agree that they've defended really well for me. You know, that everything that's been thrown at them, they've repelled, and they've had enough nous and dexterity with the ball to find some pass plays through Paul Cook.
Wait! Out!
You get the impression that Paul Cook's just loving playing rugby league again, don't you? He's played it with a smile on his face tonight.
More nice stuff off the back of the scrum as well from Doncaster, just stretching the play out to that right-hand side. Setting them up now. Fawcett wants it, but it goes out to that right-hand side to Waterman. One to his name in terms of tries so far this evening. Can they drive their way over now? With Alex Rowe. Gets to the line, then push back. Back through Fawcett. Then into Cook. Cook with a kick. Two men chasing. Calderwood there for Workington. Again, just a bit strong. Calderwood's looking to get the ball back and get the play back underway.
Yeah, acknowledges the fact that too much weight on the kick again. And if there's been any criticism of Paul Cook tonight, it's been those three kicks, a couple too heavy, and the big one that went straight out.
Move! Hold! Go,
Phillips is still taking the ball in, isn't he? I think he's played the whole game as well, and he's kept coming forward for them, hasn't he, even in defeat.
Really liked what he's done. He hasn't gone missing, he hasn't looked for excuses, he's just got on with the game.
Mark Shackley on halfway. Signed up to end of 2014 as well for Workington. Had a few injuries last year. And now his side on the 40-metre line inside the Doncaster half. Through Forbert. Spread it out to that left-hand side. Got support as well. Looking to get the ball with Elliot Miller. Has to kick. It's just right down the net.
The ball's a foot high, it goes over the fullback's head and is a chance. It's just not Workington's night, is it?
Waterman was underneath it.
He's done pretty well for a stand-in fullback, hasn't he, Waterman, for a guy who normally plays centre.
Go. Okay, you're on.
More metres from dummy half from Sanderson.
Hold. Go. 5 last.
O'Loughlin sets them up for the final play of this set. On to Cook, who kicks along the floor. Is he looking to eat down the clock? He doesn't quite meet the touchline. Calderwood fires it back inside, and here comes Brett Carter. Scored one of the tries against Doncaster in that game back in May. It's now Alstrom.
2, move! Go, 2.
On that shorter side. It's the Doncaster fans here at the Keep Motor Stadium showing their voice of appreciation.
4, move! Line, hold, go.
Thackeray fires it out to Elliot Miller.
5, move!
Took a roll and then a tackle.
Off his foot!
Now he's Forbert. Nicely underneath it yet again. Lee Waterman looking to get away as well. He's through. Can't quite escape.
Phillips again, the man with the tackle there.
Great return from Waterman.
2, move! Wait, hold, go, 2.
Inside these final 10 minutes.
3, move! Wait, go.
Workington still trying to apply that extra pressure in the tackle. It's not been their night this evening.
4, movement!
It's a little bit clumsy there from Carl Ahlstrom. It's just been thrown forward as well, but lands in the hands of Elliot Miller.
No advantage. No advantage.
What will the referee give for this one?
I think he's saying no advantage, Ian, so he'll go back to the original knock-on.
Gives the head and feed to Workington, we see there. Ball was stolen away.
Just for our viewers, they're allowed to do that one-on-one. However, deemed that Workington didn't have enough advantage from the knock on that Doncaster had just seconds earlier.
So Workington now with a set inside the Doncaster half to register some points this evening. Here's Thackeray. Again, really hasn't got himself going tonight. Seen bits of him, but not the usual stuff that you'd expect.
I think it's more to do what Doncaster have done as a defensive team than it is about Workington's attack. Run.
Here's Forber. It opened up a little bit. It has the support as well, looking to get through, and it looks like Workington do have their first points of the evening. Just diving through with Peter Lupton, the benefactor on the end, registering the first 4 points for Workington inside these final 7 minutes. Just a bit of work down that left-hand side. Initially opened up for Forber, but it's Lupton on the end.
Well, they have the numbers, plenty of numbers on the outside here, and Forber takes the line on and gets himself a little bit of space, and Peter Lupton drops off inside him. It comes underneath him, and it's just a pass play because he's too big to stop from there from that far out.
I'm sure the shout will go up now for the bonus point. It's sort of 6.5 minutes left. 16 points is a lot to reel in, but another try could give them that bonus point, and I'm sure they'll be talking about that among the Workington players now.
Still all to play for then. Bonus points like that could make all the difference when it comes to final placings at the end of the year. Here he is, Peter Lupton, born in Whitehaven, former Crusaders man obviously. Been at Broncos, Cast, Leeds and Hull FC as well. His Welsh debut last year. Cook gets proceedings back underway then with the final 6 minutes displaying on the clock. Taken by Carter. Thought about giving it to McDonald, but goes himself.
He's had a crack all night, hasn't he, Carter? He's never given up. He's kept running. What a big game. His effort's been outstanding. As probably most of the Workington players have. It's just been one of those nights where they've been frustrated a little bit.
Here is McDonald. Offloading away. As most of the Doncaster players had reset themselves for the next tackle. Holding down.
Here, Elliot Miller is
looks like he's taken a hit. Looks to be in a little bit of pain there. Does Jason Mossop?
It's Elliot Miller, isn't it? He's
just comes in.
Keswick, I think it is, isn't it?
Keswick kind of finishes him off on the floor. Don't think he actually does lose the ball, but I think it's just
catches him on the head, knows he's got him. Just getting back to his foot there, and yeah, Keswick that comes in.
Third tackle. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Let's see if it's. He's tried hard all night, hasn't he?
Stay there. Stay there.
Yes. Forearm on top of the head, isn't it?
Okay, mate. Make contact with the head.
A penalty to Workington.
Right here.
So 5 minutes to play here at the Keep Moat. The bonus point still within reach of Workington. They're looking for it in those final 20 metres now. Trying with McDonald.
Free! Move! Onside! 16!
Phillips Stuffs it back through Lopton. Then again into Forber. Here comes Carter. Out the back door into Calderwood, who then puts it back inside. Loads of hands from Workington in that play. Still a couple of tackles remaining now. Not far to go. Pressure in from Doncaster. Forber just dinking around, then he's taken down by his shirt. Kick through. Picked up by Doncaster in the in-goal area. Can Workington force the drop out? They can. And they'll get the ball back. So we've got just under 4 minutes to play now. Another opportunity for Workington to grab themselves this bonus point. It's all tight at the top of Championship 1. It looks like you'd say 3 sides going for the top 3 spots and then 3 next ones going for the 4th automatic promotion spot. There's a big prize as well for finishing top of the league. Here goes Thackeray. Again, that Doncaster defence just containing him. Along the line they go again. Carter comes back inside from Elliot Miller. We see a bit more expansive stuff now from Workington. And so 3 minutes to play now. We have head and feed back to Doncaster on the 10-metre line. The ball floated over. Calderwood just couldn't claim it. Knocks the ball on. And that opportunity goes begging.
I reckon he catches that, they score.
Stay outside! Stay! Stay! Out!
2.5 minutes. And he falls back and tackle was complete before then the player was put down. Ryan McDonald there. On Chris Spur. Just carried him back.
Offside, fuck it up. 2, move, wait, hold.
I'm sure Doncaster are probably conscious of this bonus point thing as well. They'll be keen just to ensure that they finish the game off strongly, get a good set in here and make it difficult for Workington to mount one last attack.
Well, they've got a chance. They'll get a full set of 6 here.
1, move, hold, go. 1, 2, move.
Inside the Doncaster half now. Maybe their final opportunity for Workington. Phillips.
3, clear. Outside. Go. Go with it, go with it. Four, move! Outside.
1 minute to play.
3, go.
The ball's kicked through and then it's seen safe. They will get maybe one more opportunity. Will Workington? They're going to have to do it on this final play.
Great small kick from Forber. Scrambled out of play.
I just think they'll be frustrated, Brian, because they've forced 3 dropouts, but they've all come in the last quarter of the game, haven't they, when they've been a long way behind.
They have played better in the second half, and the scoreboard reflects that. 30 seconds to get themselves another score.
20 seconds to go then. Forber into Lupton. Lupton then back to Carter. Carter tries to get to Calderwood, but they keep it going. They're looking for this bonus point. The ball's going to be stretched this left-hand side. They do keep it alive. It's gone to ground and knocked on, says the referee. That'll be it. That's 80 minutes up. Workington couldn't get that bonus point. All 3 points go to Doncaster. They go above Workington in the table. They've won this game by 22 points to 6. And there is our man of the match in Paul Cook. We identified him at the start of the game, and Brian has been on the winning side this evening.
But they deserve it as well. I think it's a great support, particularly Craig Robinson. Thought he was immense. Emmett was immense at the back of the scrum. Some great performances, some great dummy half running from Sanderson, but it's been Paul Cook that's pulled the strings and come up with the big plays at the right time to bring home the spoils for the Doncaster team, who deservedly win this encounter tonight.
Maybe wasn't the party that Workington were expecting. They'll have to wait for another 3 points, another day to secure their passage through to what would be the championship for 2013. But Doncaster, the fans here this evening, delighted to see their side with another really massive result, beating another side above them in the table. It was Barrow just 10 days ago. Tonight it's Workington. We see there Craig Fawcett applauding the home fans here at the Keymote Stadium. Mark Castle there as well. Enjoyed their evening. And one man who has definitely played his part is down pitch side. Talking with Natalie, it's Paul Cook.
Paul, congratulations. What did it take to win this game today?
Yeah, it was guts and determination. You know, we got off to a good start first half, and we always knew that they'd have a little bit of possession and a little bit of field position, and you know, we had to dig in, and we didn't concede, I think, until 74 minutes. So, you know, it was a massive effort from the boys, and you know, the big men in particular in the heat out here.
Was it a bit of revenge because of last time as well, in the back of your mind?
Oh, we spoke about it all week. You know, we didn't do ourselves justice going up there, and you know, we went into an 18-0 lead and didn't score again afterwards, and conceded 45. It's as bad as we've played, and you know, it was certainly mentioned in the build-up.
As you say, you conceded in the last after 70 minutes. Were you conscious of them coming back for a bonus point?
Yeah, it was something that we spoke about as soon as they'd scored. Is, you know, we thought it'd be a little bit unjust if they got a bonus point out of the game when I thought we was quite dominant first 40, and you know, we scored early in the second half. So, you know, maybe we can learn a little bit about putting the game to bed, and you know, a little bit earlier than it was for the bonus point.
Well, you are a cooperative man of the match. Who would you like to donate your £100 to?
Yeah, I'll give it to the Dove House Hospice. They kind of looked after my mum in the final months just over a year ago. I did a bit of charity work for them, so it'll go there.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you. Cheers.
The Dove House Hospice, he says he did a bit of charity work for them. He did 7 marathons in 7 days, did Paul Cook, our man of the match this evening, who's seen his side win in the Championship 1, beating Workington by 22 points to 6. All the analysis with Brian Noble and Gareth is next. A victory for Doncaster here at the Keymote Stadium this evening. Let's hear from the head coach, a victorious head coach in Tony Miller, talking with Natalie.
Well, Tony, I know I spoke to Mick about it at half-time, but how different was this game for you compared to the last time we met?
I think massively. Really like to thank the players. I think they've been magnificent all year, and I thought tonight they come out and we were definitely the better team, and everyone give their all and magnificent performance.
What was the winning game plan, do you think?
We had to win the ruck. They've got some real good players around the ruck area, and we have. And I thought if we controlled that, everything else would take care of itself, and that's exactly what we did.
It certainly makes things interesting, kind of the run into the final games of the season, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it. I think it's between Barrow, ourselves and Workington. It's all to play for, so we've just got to keep doing what we do. There's some massive games for us all ahead, and hopefully we can keep winning.
And all pretty much come back unscathed as well, all the players?
More or less. There's a couple of bumps and bruises, but we'll know more on training on Tuesday.
Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Says that it's all to play for. And it really is now after that, isn't it?
Yeah, and it was interesting, he mentioned that, you know, they won the battle around the ruck. Well, I thought there were some super performances from Emmett in the back of the scrum, and I wrote, there was asterisks them all down here. I thought Sanderson, Keswick, Robinson, Emmett and then Powley off the bench, all the short squat guys just were going zing, 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 and Workington didn't quite come to terms with it until the end. They did play better in the second half, I thought, Workington. They defended a whole lot better and combated that, but they had too much of a lead by then, did Doncaster.
Tony Miller was saying that he thought his side had to control the ruck, and if they did that, they'd be all right, and they certainly did that.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, we've talked a lot tonight about Paul Cook, and rightly so, because they had a great game, but they've got a team around him, haven't they? They've such willing workers and hard workers, and they do a lot of the tough stuff, a lot of the unglamorous stuff, always there providing options for Paul Cook, and they were terrific tonight, Doncaster.
You know, we mentioned Thackeray, didn't we? Just couldn't get himself going, really, and not through no fault of his own, just the fact of Doncaster's defence.
I thought Workington tried really, really hard. You know, I thought that towards the back end you could see the desire, so it wasn't an effort thing. I think it was just one of those nights where a couple of calls went against them and they couldn't quite find any field position. And you know, I have to say that I thought in a beaten team, Brett Phillips was outstanding. I thought he played a really super game.
And we said it was crucial, really, who scored the first try the second half. It went the way of Doncaster, and from then on we really saw that it was going to go their way.
Absolutely, that was going to be a key score, I think, at the beginning of the second half. And Lee Waterman, who's been such a prolific player at this level for so long, the guy who got it, terrific strength from him there on the last tackle as well.
He's 29th of the season. He's edging closer to 31, which is the club record for a season.
Well, he's stretched out there, and as Gareth had mentioned on commentary, I think Workington were panicking as to where Paul Cook was, and we saw a mass exodus of defenders around the ball, and that's where the threat is. And he saw his opportunity and stepped between Thackeray and got the ball over the line for a super finish.
There's the incentive as well in the Championship of getting the bonus point. Workington, I suppose I'm not sure whether they were thinking about it originally, but as soon as they got on the scoreboard, he opened up that opportunity.
Well, it did, and you know, it was on the back of building a little bit of pressure in this second half. I think the second half score was 8-6, and it was Forber again, who I thought tried his socks off all night, and Peter Lupton on the inside. He find a space out there, you know, to confuse Doncaster defence. The first time they probably had the numbers, Workington, and Lupton turns up for him. Is an easy score on the back of Forber's endeavours.
Well, they got themselves on the score sheet this evening. Wasn't quite enough to win themselves a bonus point, but let's hear what their head coach and Gary Charlton made of the game.
Gary, you just had a couple of minutes with your team. What did you say to them?
Just disappointed which way we played tonight. I think we got well beat, especially around the area that we've been doing well in this year around the ruck.
You mentioned mistakes when I last spoke to you. Was it just one too many tonight?
Yeah, well, you can only tackle so long without giving away tries, and you know it seemed to catch up at the end with us. Yeah.
A late surge at the end, though, and a great effort, and managed to get on the score sheet.
Yeah, you know, we should have been doing that right from the word go. Asked some questions about their defence, and we didn't ask many tonight, and that's the disappointing thing.
But just celebrations just on ice then for now?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Gary.
No problem.
Those celebrations probably seem quite a long way away after the game this evening. We see now Doncaster above Workington. Just that single point now up to second, 2 points behind Bow as well, and those top three really going for, well, the top three spots. It could go either way at the moment. You see there, Whitehaven, Rochdale and Oldham all going to fight it out really for that final fourth promotion spot up to the Championship. Just shows how tasty it is really at the top, and really that result just does everything to sort of put the cat amongst the pigeons, and it's all tight as ever.
Well, you wouldn't like to call who's going to actually finish top of the pile with those three, would you? And you know, Workington and Rochdale will think themselves a bit of a sneaking chance as well. So it is a really competitive end to that top end of the table, isn't it?
Well, Gareth, people, you're talking about Barrow, you know, dominating the division this year. They're top at the moment, but I mean, would you bet against Doncaster in this form at the moment with these two big wins now?
Well, you can't do, I don't think. And that game now at Derwent Park between Workington and Barrow is going to be massive. You know, there'll be a big crowd up there, another Cumbrian derby, and Workington will be looking to bounce back from tonight, I'm sure, in that one.
And I mean, the prize is massive, isn't it? But they'll all be promoted, so to speak, but they'll still want to finish top of the pile. Yeah. The pride is there.
I think the huge challenge is the promotion first and foremost, and then the Championship will take care of itself. We talked about at the start, didn't we? Those top 4 teams, top 5 teams are trying to vie for as high as they possibly can get, but anybody can win it from the 6. It's a nice fillip to finish top of the pile. You know, it'd probably make a difference between home and home field advantage at the end of the season, but I think the priority for those top 4 teams particularly is the promotion.
And if Workington, just got to say, tonight was a tough night, didn't go our way, but you know, we've got to sort of crack on and be back on it next time.
Yeah, I think so. they clearly weren't at the races in the first half. A couple of calls went against them. They got a bit distracted, and so the frustrations were taken out amongst themselves, and a few errors and on the Doncaster players and sometimes the referee, unfortunately. They got back somewhere near that. You know, I thought there were plenty of signs there with their effort, and I'm sure they'll finish the season strongly.
And just a quick word as well about those chasing three. I mean, like we said before, you'd probably suggest that those top three are going to stay as the top three, maybe in another order. But I mean, who do you see, Gareth, as the fourth one coming through?
Well, Rochdale v Whitehaven's huge on Sunday. I think if Rochdale lose that, they're going to struggle. Oldham can't be discounted yet, but they've probably got to win every game. So I think we'll know a lot more after Sunday's game at Spotland.
Well, it was a big game this evening here at the Keep Moat Stadium. It went the way of Doncaster, but on Sunday we have a massive game, the Northern Rail Cup final. It's Featherstone against Halifax, and it's live here on Premier Sports from 2:30 on Sunday. Thank you very much to Brian and to Gareth. Hope you enjoyed the game. Good evening.